the GTA 3 special guest episode. Now I'm just waiting on my friend J-Love to see if she can hop in, because I don't want to try and ask her to join a party thing for this, and she's like caught up in the middle of something, so yeah. And also, if I sound like I'm out of breath, I am. Because I literally just did a whole crap ton of stuff in like a minute and a half. Alright, so she'll be on soon, which is good to know. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why, but in my house it's freaking hot, and I don't have a fan that I could plug in if I wanted to, I don't think. I mean, I do, but I don't feel like messing with the freaking, like, the actual plug itself and trying to find a spot to plug it in and then start it, and then you guys hear that in the background. So we're just gonna go with the flow.
You're real smart.
And I think I'm gonna go do... guess I could do the next Joey mission. Alright, let me, really quick, I'm gonna go to a blue screen because I gotta set up a party chat, and then J-Love can join in. Yeah, whatever. Give it a moment, it's still going to be a blue screen for a moment. Hopefully, she'll be able to receive that. And if she can get on, she can get on. I'll have sent it. If I need to resend it, she can just let me know. Also, this is the first time on Friday ever where I've actually been able to stream at all in general, whether it was more than once or just once. So, that's a good thing. Grab that heart, because I need that. Just checking my battery. Sorry if it keeps cutting in and out real quick. Oh jeez, what the hell happened here? I know for a fact I didn't use cheats, but apparently people are getting into conflict with one another, and apparently this is happening. And people are just killing each other in this game, it's crazy. And I'm also just praying that we don't get the same thing that we got last stream, where I was trying to stream and the entire video feed was cut off because of the fact that the sufficiency of the internet thing went south, so... The getaway, okay. I think this is the one, if I recall, where you're the driver and you help guys get away. Enough said.
Alright, listen. Get some wheels to the safe house at St. Mark's and pick up a few friends of mine. They're hitting the bank and they need a driver. I gave my word that you were the man, so don't screw this up. Get them to the bank before 5 o'clock, not a minute after.
Okay, so this is one of those timed missions. Okay. I mean, we gotta grab us some wheels ASAP. Let's grab something we can use as a van. That'd be useful. And that's a pony. Pony Jr. now. I guess you could say is what this is. Alright, let's go, go, go. God, go, boy. Let's pray this today. Just hopefully, if you could do me a favor and check the stream, make sure you can hear yourself on there. I don't mind if I hear an echo temporarily, just to make sure you can hear yourself.
Okay.
So you can hear yourself on there, because if you can't, then we know any viewers that pop in won't. I just want to make sure.
All right, let me check. I'm gonna jump on the chat here too.
Okay, do what you can. Also, if you don't mind, because I'm sure you probably got more. Alright, I'm sure you probably got more followers than me. If you don't mind tweeting this out, because I know Dan wanted to see the other ones, because he didn't know I was going to do a stream with you. You know, like a kind of a miniature collab type thing. And he said he was going to watch him, but he fell asleep because he's been having so much going on, you know. So, if you can try and tweet it on your Twitter, maybe we'll be able to get some viewers and get him in here or something, and he won't be able to miss it.
You got it.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Because like I said, you probably have better odds of getting people to actually be able to, you know, pick up on it and stuff than I would. Also, I keep forgetting that in these old I don't mean to cut you off. I was going to say, I keep forgetting that in these old GTAs, right, that when you do, oh, of course I'm going to get that when I was hoping I wouldn't. Dang it! You're probably getting that blank screen thing like you got before, right?
No, actually, I see you perfect.
Okay, because I got a thing saying it was insufficient internet speed or something. I was like, don't tell me they're going to get a blank screen thing like we got last time, because that would suck.
No,
Especially,
I can currently see for now.
Yeah, because as long as you can see it, then I know anybody that comes in, especially Dan, if he ever gets in, I want to make sure he's going to be able to see it, you know? I don't want him to get like that weird screen like we
Yeah, I
got.
don't know if he's sleeping.
I know earlier when I was tweeting him about it and stuff, he's like, I was asleep for the earlier one, so I was like, yeah, well, we're going to try to do another one later on, so hopefully maybe you can get in, you know. And let me ask this, what games have you been playing recently, just out of curiosity?
The most recent game I've been playing is the new God of War on the PS4.
Yeah.
I'm not finished with it because I haven't had time to, it's a long game. It's like 18 hours long, 18 plus.
Well, what I gotta give it credit for...
I probably only put it 6.
Yeah, what I gotta give it credit for is that it connects that story with the story of the one I had played on PS3 called God of War 3. Like, if you remember that...
That's the best.
That is my favorite one, because I just remember, what was it? I forget his name. He's like, I think he's the god of, like, speed or something like that. And I think the way you defeat him is you, like, completely just decapitate his head off and then use him. It's either the god of light or the god of, like, speed or something like that. And you get a hold of him.
Yeah, those are, like, the only God of War, because I love them all. The third one is my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
But it's, like, the God of War Ascensions, which is supposed to be, like, the fourth one, I really was not big on.
Yeah.
They made it tough.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest with me, like, I can't remember his name offhand. I want to say, like I said, I want to say he was the god of, like, light or something. Because remember, at the time, that's when Kratos was, like, huge on taking out the gods. He didn't care what he had to do. He didn't even care if he had to sacrifice his, I forget the friend's name, but I remember the one that was, like, a entity that took over, like, a giant mountain. And he had to rely on her to climb up to the location for the gods and stuff. Like, I just loved that storyline because literally he would go in and he would just tear the house down. Like, I think his half-brother is like Hercules or something like that. And you have to end up killing them with their own, like, power glove things he has and stuff. It's insane. But, like, I just love it because it's like that moment, like I said, where he just goes and cuts the dude's head clean off and has to use that for, like, a light source to get to and from places later on. So awesome. I never fully finished it, but, like, I remember the basis of it, because it's, like, it's a pretty easy story to understand without even having to play the full thing. You know, like, if you notice, the storylines, the reason they seem so similar with God of War 3 versus the newest one, the only reason they're so similar, aside from the fact that they're together, is, like, if you notice, he has the same situation happen, the only difference is now he's trying to pretend that it never existed. He doesn't want to get his son caught up in it. like he was, you know? Which I think is cool that it kept the idea or the concept of the original one that came out before it, and then took it and ran with it and made it decent. Like I said, like it's not that I hate the game, I'm just not one that would probably play it. I might, like I said, I like God of War, but it's just this one doesn't seem like a game I'd want, and it's probably because of if I'm being honest, it's probably just because it's got too many puzzles, and I could barely handle any puzzle games when it comes to like games like Last of Us where you gotta use stealth to defeat the puzzles, or a game like, what's that game called? I played it. Beyond Two Souls, I don't know if you ever played that. That was a PlayStation exclusive game. It had, the main character's name was Jodie, and then you had like her entity named Aiden, or with the action they put
and it turned out to be her brother.
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it that he ended up being like a premature child that died in the womb, and that's why he became an entity, and he's been with her ever since. And you have the choice down the line at the end game to either go and be with him for all eternity, like in the afterlife, or you can stay in like the main world and still have him with you, but like it kind of does like that same thing like when she shuts down the machine, where it's like his presence disappears temporarily, and then he writes in the sand, "I'm still here," and then she smiles and she's all happy because she knows her brother's there with her. Like, I thought
that
it was funny.
Awesome.
I think what's even funnier is how like she doesn't know it's her brother until like the very late point, because she doesn't get the sense that he's related to her. So she always thinks that he's just jealous and that he's like a random guy that got attached to her, that became jealous of her dating everybody. So, but I loved that game.
It kind of reminded me of like Heavy Rain. I think the same
like
makers
I said,
might have done that.
Actually, it is. As far as I know, they're made by the same companies, from my understanding. Usually anything that's licensed by Sony usually has a similar maker for something. Unless it's like a sports game, then it's a totally different company that's licensed by Sony to do it, but more often than not, it's a Sony exclusive brand. As long as it has that Sony logo, it doesn't matter the company.
I think it's Quantic Dream that does that kind of stuff.
Which is the one that made Last of Us, which that's still a great game. I'm actually playing the remake that's free with Plus right now on my PS4 on my downtime when I get bored. Not that the game, you know,
they made Indigo Prophecy as well for the PlayStation 2. Which is a really good game. It's kind of similar to the Heavy Rain theme, like where you have to make decisions. And there's a new one coming out now for PS4 this month, at the end of this month, called Detroit Become Human.
I've heard of that game. I'm so going to get that.
Yes, me too.
I kid you not.
That is awesome.
I kid you not. As soon as I get 7 Days to Die or whatever for me and my nephew to play, that's going to be my own personal game. I don't care if I have to sell every single good game that I'm playing right now that's like physical to get it. I will sell what I have to get the money. Because right now, you remember Evil Within? Right?
Yes.
You know the sequel that came out? I have it. I have its sequel. I don't have the original, but I have the sequel, and the sequel is amazing. Like, it's a different storyline. Remember how in the original one, you're like, it's kind of similar to, what was that game called? I want to say it's Silent Hill, but I could be wrong. Remember the one where you're going in to like a psychiatric ward and you have to take the photos or film it or whatever kind of thing, and you have to try not to die?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what the original Evil Within was like. This one is more of a storyline. Like, you remember how Heavy Rain, like, your character was like a cop, I believe, if I recall, that's trying to solve a mystery and stuff? Like, it's like that. Like, your character basically in the game is an ex-cop whose main goal basically is to try and find his daughter, and you have to go into this thing called the STEM world, which is like the alternate reality type world like you see in a lot of other games. And what he has to do is he has to go in that world, right, and he has to find all these agents that were searching for his daughter, who at the time, because he was on duty at the time, what happened was he left her with the nanny, because I guess his wife had died prior to it, so he left her with the nanny, or both of them were working or something, he left her with the nanny, and the house randomly caught on fire at some point. And the daughter somehow made it out, but the nanny got caught in the fire and died. And you basically have to try and gather a bunch of clues and find her. And it's so cool because it kind of takes like that storyline of like if you played Last of Us, which had Ellie and Joel. It was like that whole zombie theme game that was made for Sony. Yeah. Like it's like that, but with like the whole like Heavy Rain cop concept mixed into one game. But what's even What's even crazier though about this one is there's a really cool mechanic where, you know how in most games when a zombie is dead, you don't see them like playing dead. They'll be undead and they'll just be moving, right? This one, to kind of get in your head and mess with you, they'll play as if they're dead. They'll play like possum, and then they'll try and come at you if you make noise when you run and try and kill you. So you have to be like stealthy. You have to learn stealth mechanics. It's so cool. Like, I mean, I'll be honest, it's a bit of a pain if you're not used to the controls right off the bat, but other than that, the game is so awesome. Like, I've played it enough to love it.
See, it's like really tough to be stealth for me, because Man, I do it like, you know, even with the Batman games, the Arkham series.
Yeah, you're kind of one of those people that just goes all out.
And I'm impatient, so sometimes I'll blow my cover because I'm the type of person that I like to just go there and start battling right away. And there's a lot of the time you really can't be like that.
Well, that's the thing. Unlike most games, at least Last of Us has that option where you do it. The only time that you don't do it in Last of Us is, you remember like the last mission you do with Joel and Ellie before like post hospital scene, like before the whole like post rescuing her type scene. If you remember, what was it? It was where it's like springtime. It's like the whole epilogue scene, and you have that springtime, and you have that giant bloater thing. Like that's one of those times you have to go stealth whether you want to or not, because if you go full out, you better be able to pack the guns to defend yourself, because otherwise you're screwed. Because that thing is like, you get bloaters, you get everything after you. It's like it's kind of like in that segment that Ellie does, where she's like trying to survive from that guy that's trying to kill her, and she has to rely on her like switchblade knife and the bow and arrows. It's like that, but in like a much higher level. It's cool though, because it's like, it's the only time where stealth actually really takes effect, and it's really necessary to complete it. Because every other mission you do, stealth isn't necessary, but it's helpful in some instances, you know, to get like certain stuff complete. But I love that the game does that. Like, it doesn't have to be stealth, you know, like you can be semi-stealth and still, you know, out right before that car flew in there. Or the vehicle.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I like PlayStation games too. I mean, I play a little bit of everything. I'm a big Nintendo fan myself.
Oh yeah, like I grew up with Nintendo. I grew up with the original NES ice hockey that I think Ness ended up playing.
Oh, that one's awesome. The one that you could be like the fat guy, the skinny guy.
Yep, that was the first.
Guy.
That was the first sports game I ever played. And then like the first like main Nintendo game I ever played as a kid was Mario with the Duck Hunt combo that comes with the system by default. And then I don't know if you've ever heard of this game. It's kind of like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, similar to Double Dragon, but not in the sense where you can grapple, and it's called Bad Dudes. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I never played that one, believe it or not, but I heard about it. I would like to get it.
I recommend it, even if you have to play it on like an emulator. You want to know why? Think of it like if Double Dragon...
Do you have a PS3?
I have a PS3, but I can't use it because I don't have a controller to reset it, because it's stuck in a safe mode lock at the moment.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But I'm going to end up selling it because I need that money, like I said, to do other things I want to do. So that's why I'm saving it, and I'm going to sell it to somebody that might be interested. Because they're not worried about getting the controllers. They can handle that themselves.
They really should have more PS3 options, like games to be able to get on the PSN for the PS4.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the only way you can get most of them now is, like, if you've got the PlayStation Now subscription, you'll get it free. Otherwise, you have to pay like $20. And it's like, really? Like the God of War 3 game, you can pay $20 to own it. Or you can pay, I think it's like $20 a month, which is like way more per year than you'd want to pay. And you can have God of War 3 remastered for the PS4 version remake of it at no cost. And it's like, really? Why would somebody want to spend $20 on a remake when they could just, or, you know, to have it permanently for a multiple time thing over the course of a month versus just paying for it up front? Do you ever think somebody's going to go and spend $20 consistently every month just to play a game? You know, no. They're going to want to buy the game outright and just play it while they can. Yes! Yeah. Hallelujah, he's in! Hopefully he can hear you. Say hello to Dan. Hey, Dan, glad you can make it.
Hey, Dan!
I was thinking to myself, I was like, please let him make it in time. I don't even care if he can only stay for like 2 minutes. Just as long as he can be in during the collab, during this third time, I'll be happy.
Yeah, because Dan's an hour behind us.
Yeah, I know that.
Eastern
he's Central. Time. Yeah, we're Eastern, he's Central. And then, you know, the YouTuber I mentioned, there's a YouTuber I watch that's, I want to say he's like Pacific time, and it's like, with everybody being in all different, you know, different time zones, it's like you got to remember who's at what time zone and how far ahead you are of one or the other, so you got to balance it. So.
Yeah, like I think Texas is the same thing. I think Texas is Central. California is 3 hours behind us.
No,
and if you know anybody in Hawaii, which I do, they're 5 hours behind us.
Oh, wow. I didn't know Hawaii even had its own separate time zone.
Absolutely. The only one that doesn't have a time zone, the only state is Arizona.
Yeah, because it's like the only one that's kind of like in an area where it's multiple time zones in one spot. Like it's mixed in with a bunch of other places. if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. That's why it just uses whatever time's closest to because I think it's one of those ones where the time zone is based on where you're located in the state versus the state itself, you know.
Wait, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I gotta take this call.
No, it's alright. Take your time. So how you doing, Dan? I hope you can hear me okay too, and the video quality is alright, because we had a couple of mishaps earlier with the last 2 streams where it's just like it was lagging, and then it did that whole like video cutout thing that you saw before. Oh, I'm doing a race? Let's go. I've actually wanted to do a race. Alright, I gotta switch this taxi around. Whoop, whoop. This is gonna be a risky move, especially in a thing like this with these kinds of cars. Wish me luck. I think I gotta beat them, that's about it. Oh, shoot. No, go, 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 go. Whoa, they're already banged up, and I'm still in pretty good shape. Yeah, at least we got it working, and she's been willing to help me out. I was like, if you want to join in the stream, just say so, you know? Like, I even told you, Dan, if you add me on PSN and you want to join in, you say so, and I will totally let you in. No questions asked.
Yep, that was my sister, sorry.
Oh, no, it's alright,
She just wanted to see if I brought my mom back.
Oh, just to make sure your mom got home safe or whatever after the therapy and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, I can understand that. Don't worry about it. At least, you know, at least we know that it wasn't something that was like where your mom got hurt again and she needs to go back or something, you know?
Oh, she is...
Let me guess, your mom is kind of like with my mom, where she's like a tough cookie. She's not going to let something...
Yeah, she's independent. I even told her, joking around, I was like, don't worry, because she's a righty. I said that if you're having a problem wiping your behind, I'll do it. I was like, I'll even put powder on it. And she's like, shut up. I'll do it myself. I'm like, okay. She's very independent. She even wanted to drive herself.
Oh, geez.
And
even after they said she's not supposed to drive due to the surgery.
Yeah, because even though you could drive with one arm, you still need, like, if you have to do a hard turn or anything can happen, you need both your hands all the time.
Yeah, exactly. To be safe rather than sorry, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. She is a good daughter.
Damn.
Oh, damn it.
I appreciate it. You're a good friend, buddy.
This race is fucked. I gotta restart. And I apologize. I'm letting you know now, I'm one of those people that's a PG-13 channel, or worse. I'm basically the TV equivalent of rated R films. Because I cuss up a storm.
I'm like that too when I play.
I
actually like that you said that. He said this race is fucked.
Yeah, like the only thing I don't do is I don't use there's like 3 or 4 basic words I don't use for obvious reasons. One is because 2 of them are offensive to women, and I don't like to disrespect women because they're equal to me when they game or not, you know. Hey,
I don't get offended. You could ask Dan. You could say anything, and it's gonna make me laugh.
Like, you know the word...
I work with men all the time, so
yeah.
I'm used to it.
You know, like the phrase that most people associate with the phrase "see you next Tuesday," which is that phrase, like that word. I don't use it. I try not to. I also try not to use the word that you hear in, I think it's in Eminem's Rap God, SLUT. You know what word I'm talking about. Don't repeat it. Just tell me if you know what I'm saying. Like,
yes.
I don't use that word because I also find that offensive. And then there's like 2 words. One of them I might let slip out on occasion, but I'm okay with being able to use it because I have a nephew that's partially that race anyway, so it's not like it's going to get me in trouble because he can vouch for me and stuff. But it's like those, you know, like the N-word. Not the one that most people would use that's offensive, but like the one you commonly hear in like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and GTA 5 and stuff, like that one.
Yeah.
Like, I can use that one, no problem. My nephew will vouch for me. He said I'm, you know, as long as I don't over-excessively use it, which I won't, you know, it's fine. But the one I definitely not use... You know, I definitely won't use the actual word.
I don't usually use racial terms, but, like, curse words, I curse quick.
Well, I mean, there are 2 curse words that, ironically, one of them you can actually mistake for, like, you know, like an actual food, because that's actually a food, which is cracker, which was a racial stereotype term used by the blacks towards the whites in that era. And then you also have honky, and it's like, you know, you hear a song called Honky Tonk Badonkadonk by, I forget the group's name, but there's a band that sings it, you know, and it's like, so obviously those words don't, yeah, there's a band that uses it as a reference to, like, a woman dancing in a club. I would play it, but I'm not going to risk having this go up and then eventually somehow out of the blue I get enough subs for an ad, you know. My favorite wrestler nowadays...
Oh, yeah.
Dan, that's a hard question if I'm being honest, because there's, like, one person I love that when he was a heel, everybody despised him. but I was like full on supportive of him, even though he was working with Triple H, and that was Seth Rollins. Now it's like, I don't know, because so many of my favorite, you know, like wrestlers from back in the day that have left the WWE have come back. You have the Hardy Boys came back at Mania, which I was literally losing my mind that night. I could have probably cracked my voice, and that was before I got back into YouTube, you know, because that was like when I was like just not, you know, motivated to keep going. And then there was there's Bobby Lashley that's returned, and I just remember because he's the only other person other than what was his name there, Farouk, that's used the Dominator, which is that powerbomb side slam type thing. Other than that, I actually don't remember too many modern people, unless you ask me, like, if you don't ask me WWE specific, like, if you tell me I could go any brand, then I know exactly who my favorite wrestler is. But if you have to keep it WWE, it's like, nope, I'm sorry, I have no idea who, because it's too many. Because, like, with, like, non-WWE, like, if you went, like, Impact Wrestling / New Japan, you know, / whatever, you know, then I have somebody. And that would be in, what's the brand they're in now? I want to say they're in Lucha Underground, which is the AAA-owned promotion. And it's a female, believe it or not. She's a female, but she has, like, I think she has, like, an MMA background. And her name is, Eva Lees. She is so awesome. She is literally, like, the Latin American equivalent of, like, Ken Shamrock when he was in, like, MMA style. It's hilarious. Like, I love her character. She's so awesome. But, what's funny is there's actually a wrestler that I watched from like a YouTube channel that, I kid you not, he was in Jersey Shore for a little bit. Then he went to wrestling, and he's been a wrestler ever since. Can you guess who it is? Here's a hint.
I'm not familiar with wrestling.
Well, here's a hint. His name, if you remember when Snooki was like super talked about back in the day before that whole Ronnie Stop meme started, right? Back in the early days of Jersey Shore. Like, if you remember... No, it's not The Miz. Here's a hint. My favorite person... Here's the hint. He was in Jersey Shore. If you took, like, my name, right, and you made a nickname out of it, right, what's one of the nicknames you can come up with aside from Rob? What's another one you can come up with my actual name? How about this? Do you remember... I don't know if you're going to remember this, J-Love, because I don't exactly know when it was huge. I just know that, like, my nieces and stuff were into it when it was big. Like, when they were... Like, I'm talking about my older nieces. Like, when they were little, they were into it when it was big. And the show was called Lazy Town. I don't know if Dan is going to remember this. I'll be surprised if he remembers it before you do, J-Love. No offense.
No, I don't.
So you don't remember...
I thought you were talking about the Jersey Shore cast.
No, I know, but I'm saying there's a person that was originally in the cast that became a full-time / part-time wrestler who, let me ask this. Do you guys remember Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town? Like, there's that whole, like, We Are Number One meme thing that went around from it for a while.
Ronnie.
Robbie Rotten. Remember, there was no, it's not Ronnie, but that's a close thing, because I remember there's this thing going around where you get, Ronnie, stop it! Or Ronnie Stop or something. It's hilarious. It's a common thing I see. The person I'm talking about is Robbie E. I don't know if you remember him. That's like early days of Jersey Shore. That was like pre-Snooki doing that whole WrestleMania match that she did. Do you remember that?
Okay, I'm looking at a picture of him right now.
Does he look familiar? Because like I said, he's the one I remember the best.
Yeah, like he does look familiar.
Yeah, because he was originally, no joke, he was originally in the Jersey Shore show, but he was also a wrestler at the same time, and he was working for Impact Wrestling at the time, and now he's like a full-on wrestler for independent while also living down in the area but not being involved with it anymore.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool, but like I said, like he's my favorite, that's like an independent promotion type wrestler. But if you were to ask me like my favorite WWE, I'd have to say probably, and it's going to probably get me booed for this, unless you guys are fans of him. Oh, we were talking about it yesterday. What is he talking about? I'm being honest. I don't remember what we were talking about, Dan. I'm being straight up honest. I'm drawing a blank. I've been having a very wacky day, because I kid you not, I thought I fell asleep in my room, and I woke up, and I was in the parlor on the couch. Ooh, top 3 favorite NES characters? Ooh, that's tough, because I don't remember a lot of the popular NES games, so I don't remember the characters that were part of it. Let's see. Well, aside from the obvious, I'm not going to give the obvious, which everybody associates with the NES, which is Mario. I'm not going to say him, because that's too obvious.
Yes.
That's
my favorite, though.
Let me ask this. Was Earthbound originally on the NES, or was it on the SNES? I can't remember if the original...
Earthbound was... It first came out for us in America for the SNES.
Okay.
But it was originally out for Famicom, the Japanese Nintendo in Japan.
Yeah, the Japanese NES, which the reason they gave it the name the Famicom is because it was a family computer and it was supposed to have access to, like, internet and stuff that the N64 was supposed to get with the disk drive but didn't get here in the U.S.
Right. So you like, what's his name from Earthbound? What was
Ness,
his name?
the main character. The one that literally has Ness
exactly.
with 2 S's. There's him.
Right.
And then, I don't know if they're considered... Oh, well, here's the thing. I have a favorite Nintendo character, but the thing is, he's not considered part of... Oh, yeah, Ryu from Ninja Gaiden. But the Ryu I remember is from Street Fighter, unfortunately. And I can't remember the characters' names, but if you told me the 2 characters from... Well, obviously, one of Megadan's favorites is going to be Megadan. I mean, that makes sense. Come on, it's going to be Mega Man because he's Megadan. I mean, come on. Logic, people. Logic. But, like, my #1 favorite character was part of Bad Dudes, but I can't remember their names. That's the problem. Because it's kind of like with that whole, like, if you remember the whole botch with Double Dragon, how, like, the originals, there was, like...
Yeah.
There was, like, what was it? It was supposed to be Billy and, like, Jimmy or something, and they botched it and gave him the wrong name. But, like, my #1 favorite character came from Bad Dudes. I just can't remember their names. But it was one of them. And then it would have to go... Alright, we're going to have to restart again. Yeah,
see, I don't consider Mario characters as part of Mario, so Yoshi, I love him to death.
Oh my god,
he's part of the Mario series. So I would definitely say Mega Man, Mario, and
Dan.
I'm thinking of what the second one was. Link from The Legend of Zelda.
Oh,
hands down.
Oh, now I remember my character. Thank you. You actually helped me remember my favorite NES characters. I mean, I remember them more on the N64 versions of them. But, like, Princess Zelda, which is... What was her alter ego? I forget. She had, like, an alter ego that was introduced later, around the time of the GameCube release. I forget what it was. And what was funny is, like, her alter ego made her look like a dude. So it was kind of cool to misunderstand that it was her. But, I
don't remember that.
Alright, #1... Oh, it's Sheik. That's her name. Wow. As soon as I thought wrestling, I'm like...
you're right. Absolutely.
I forgot that she did that. But yeah, #3 is Sheik. Then #2 is got to be Mega Man, obviously, because he's... No, Yoshi. End of discussion. Because Yoshi was on NES. Yeah, exactly, when she's the ninja. And then my #1 favorite character of all time across every NES character, hands down, has got to go to Samus. If you know who that is, you'll know the game series. If you know Metroid, you'll know the character. And I'm talking... Suit Samus was badass. Like, she was the equivalent of what Zelda did later on in the series, you know? Like, she was basically, what? Wasn't she the first, like, actual female character to be misunderstood as a male character based on her attire? Like, everybody thought...
Time until they revealed it was a female. It shocked everybody.
I think what was even more awesome is when you get to actually play as her in, like, the continuation of the game, if you use, like, a certain code or something like that, in, like, the actual
she didn't
code...
Have boobs in the NES version.
That's because it was, what was it? It was an 8-bit console. Which reminds me, if you've seen Angry Video Game Nerd, you guys are going to remember this quote. It goes, starting from, like, you know, the actual, like, because remember he was doing the old, what was it called there, the Tiger Electronics watch games. So he started from, like, the 64 era and worked his way down. He's like, and then he also made, like, a joke, like, of bits that don't exist. But he was like, 64-bit, 32-bit, 16-bit, 8-bit, 4-bit, 2-bit, 1-bit, half a bit. It was like, what the fuck? Like, I could sing the entire original edit, like the YouTube edit version of the Angry Video Game Nerd theme, and nobody would even know I know it. Because I just know it by heart without even having to hear the song, like the lyrics. So it goes, how's it go? Give me a second. He's gonna take you back to the past. To play the shitty games that suck ass, he'd rather have a buffalo. Take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat.
I met him, the guy that sings that.
The actual guitarist that was introduced during the
actual guitarist, right?
Yeah, what was it?
He is so friendly.
I know, you could tell he seems friendly. Like, I thought it was funny, though, when there was that... What was that game? It was, like, the one where the characters move, like, super slow, and you have to worry about using, like, tanks and stuff to get around, and it's, like, it's even harder by one player than it is two. But it wasn't Battletoads, it was one of those other ones. But I'll still never forget, like, he had the guy in there, and the guy would just kill him so, and then he put in the code you had to put in as the character gets the game over thing to bring him back to life. So, like, his actual real life self, when the character died, would die, and he'd bring him back, and he'd rinse and repeat. It was hilarious. Like,
yeah,
it was
his
just
name
hilarious.
is Kyle, the guy that does the guitar.
Yeah, I just love it, because, like, I remember he did... Oh, Ikari Warriors, that's what it was. I was like, what the Yeah, ABBA.
He autographed my poster that I got from James when he was promoting his movie, the Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So I saw him at too many games, and he signed my poster.
Oh,
and
nice.
So did Bootsy. He has Bootsy.
Oh, I know Bootsy. You remember
Yes, Bootsy's so awesome and laid back. I swear, I love every one of them. They're really nice dudes.
I remember when they did the board game series, and you had Bootsy freaking took the top and spun it so hard that it flew around and whacked him in the fucking eye and left him with an eye patch for the rest of the series.
Oh my god, that's my favorite. Actually, that's one of my favorite shows. Like, I wish they would bring that back.
Oh, they're going to. They said right now.
He's so deep. It's hard for him right now with with his schedule.
And not only that, but he also has the AVGN
Mike
thing.
Matei stream more. But James, he's actually a very shy person. In person, he really is. He's very friendly, but he is very shy compared to Mike Matei. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest though, I just love Mike because I remember like they said like during the board games episode, if you remember the one where they were going through all those different realities of gaming, like where each person when they died they would transition to the next game they wanted. And I remember during one of the episodes where I was like about a Haunted Mansion thing where you gotta try and kill off all the other characters to be the last one standing type thing. And they ask him, what is your real name? And he's like, motherfucker Mike. Like, he got so embarrassed he had to, because he's like, my name is Mike. And then he's like, what is your actual name? And he's like, motherfucker Mike Matei or something like that. I was laughing my ass off. But like I said,
he actually is one of the best video game, like he is so good at video games, Mike.
And not only that, but he's super cool too, you know? Like, I remember...
He really is friendly.
Do you remember I don't remember if you were there when it happened, the stream that they did where Mike, because he was joking about, like, on their, like, because I guess they also have a Twitch or something like that. Or no, it was during one of the previous streams prior to it. No, there was, like, a stream for YouTube that they did where he was like, if this because it was a previous stream prior to it, if this stream gets a certain amount of likes, if I will go out and see if I find because he was playing the Golden Girls, I guess, video game at the time, and he's like, I found their book. If I get this many likes, I will go out, pick it up, and I will bring it back, and I will, draw and color it and stuff how you guys want on the actual stream for an entire stream. And I remember being there for that. That was just hilarious, because everybody was, like, transitioning from being Golden Girls to going over to Full House to back to Golden Girls to Star Wars to Golden Girls. It was hilarious.
Oh, wow.
I remember that. I was there for that stream. Like, he even acknowledged me. I was like, what's funny is just about every time he streamed, I was there. I was, like, the first person to show up. Usually. Almost all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to catch him every time he goes on, too. If you go on my Twitter, he follows me.
Oh, nice.
Mike Matei follows me because he remembers me from the conventions, but I'm going to private message you the pictures that I have with him.
Okay.
I'll show it to you.
Also, I don't know if Dan's going to know this, assuming he's still here, because, with PlayStation, they have that weird viewer count glitch thing that goes on because of, like, the delay and stuff. But I don't know if either of you know who the axe murderer Vanderlei Silva was from UFC. He was, like, a former light heavyweight champ.
Dan might.
Well, I kid you not, okay. I went to a Bellator event at Mohegan this past year. Like, literally last year. You know what I'm talking about, Dan, right? You remember, Vanderlei Silva? Well, I kid you not. Okay, this is a true story. Because the only thing I had at the time before I got my iPhone from my mom, like her old iPhone 7, I had gone with my dad to an event at, I think it was Mohegan, for Bellator. And I had to leave my iPad with my dad because I didn't want to, lose it or something, especially because it was the only device to contact my mom with at the time. To text her and let her know what's going on, make sure everything's all right. And I met him during, because they had, a line during the preliminary stuff, like the stuff they didn't add on TV, to go and meet him in person and get a free autograph and get a picture with him. And me forgetting that I gave my dad my iPad at the time, I ended up going up there and I'm like, I don't have anything to get signed when I don't have that. He gave me his autograph and then he went and pulled up his Instagram and had me go on his Instagram with him during it. Like, no joke.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, oh, hell yeah, I can officially say I met an official UFC fighter. It was lit.
That's really cool. That sounds like a cool guy.
Yeah, he's actually really nice, too. I even followed him on Instagram. He's so nice on there. I mean, yeah, he speaks in, like, his native tongue, you know, because I think he's Cuban, if I'm recalling. I'm not going to assume the race, because I could be wrong, but I want to say he was Cuban. But it was, like, no joke. I still have the picture, like, the actual autograph to this day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, I like people that stay humble. I really do.
Yeah.
That's the type of person that I'm definitely, I know for a fact I would be the same way.
Yeah.
Definitely you, Dan. I know you hear me. He's
oh, he
like
can.
one of the most humble people in the world.
Oh, I know.
love him.
I think, no offense, and I'm not doing this to mock him or to poke at him. I'm doing this just to be honest and say something from my own honest statement. I think he's a little too humble, because I kid you not. It was, what was the stream? It was the one with his nephew there, the one when he was trying to beat the Ninja Turtles game on NES, I think it was. And he just kept talking about, like, my Vice City stream, one of my first ones I did, and just kept promoting it and promoting it. And I was like, oh my god, please stop, you're gonna make me cry because you're doing it too much. Like, I know he's trying to be helpful, and I felt bad because it's like, it's his stream. I don't want to go and stream after the fact it was done or something, and then, you know, like, not have people check me out or feel awkward about checking me out because he promoted it. So that's why I do the thing at the bottom where it says to check him out. Yeah, I know. And that's
Absolutely.
why.
Dan helps everybody.
Which you gotta give him credit.
He's a good guy like that, man. If you know what I mean, like he would give you the shirt off his back, and I appreciate him. He did
Which
it for
actually,
me as well. And I'm definitely
he...
always gonna do that for him. Like I'm gonna promote him.
Yep.
So I want him to surpass me. 100%, because the way he plays games, I can't even talk about it because then I'm gonna start slapping somebody. You know me.
Yeah, I know. But like I said, like what I do like is that like he'll take the time to pause a game, even if it's like one of those really pain in the ass games like Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and he'll go and acknowledge you in the chat and stuff. Like that's why as soon as his stream starts, I'm like, I don't give a fuck if I'm watching another stream for another channel. I'm like, nope, fuck it. Boop. I go and watch it, give it a like, and then comment immediately saying, hey. Like, I just don't care about any other streams. Like, I could be watching, you know, somebody that might have more viewers than him doing a Grand Theft Auto 5 stream, and I'll be like, I'm out. Yeah, I saw that, and I actually tweeted her, and she said thank you and stuff, so. But I'm just glad that I met you two, because of you guys, I went from having maybe about 20 subs to 60 within the last, like, maybe, like, 3 months. It's insane, because like I said, like, at the time when I had lost my motivation, I was at, like, maybe at most 30 subs. Now we've got over 60 plus because of you guys. And I'm probably gaining more as we go. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, you will. You definitely will gain more.
And like I said, it's all because you guys have been there to support me, just like I would for you. Like I said, that's why, like I said, and it's true, Dan, that's why I put, if you can see it, I put here, it says, like, comment, sub, and hit the bell to stay updated. Also, check out MegaDan29. And it's going to stay that way until I hit my goal, and then I'm going to change it to somebody new. And it's not to, like, you know, be mean or anything. I'm just saying so that I can help other channels that might be behind me trying to grow with me, you know, grow too, you know. I support everybody.
Like
you
me,
know?
like, you know, NES Addict definitely passed us all, which, you know, he's been doing it for quite a while, and he definitely deserves that as well.
Yeah. No, I
would like to promote Taylor. Nostalgia.
Let me put it this way: you can promote whoever you want on my channel, just so you know. Like if you say you want to promote somebody, as long as I know that you're going to promote them, you know, I don't care who you're promoting. You can promote somebody that's got like 100,000 subs, and I won't care as long as you're, you know, letting me know in advance. You know, I'm not going to care. It's my channel. I do what I do. You know,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because like I said, you've earned the opportunity to do so. Let me see where my sub count is.
All these guys really deserve it. All of them. Like, every single one of them.
Yeah, like right now, thanks to you and Dan, I have 63 subs right now on my channel total for subscribers because of you guys. Like, I gained like 50 subs. I don't know how I did this, but in the last 28 days, I gained 135 subs in the last 28 days. And that's how you got that 600 subs.
That's crazy. Yeah, it really did jump before, within a month.
Yeah, I think what's
little
even
less
funnier
than
is
a
I
month.
don't remember. I don't mean to cut you off. I was just saying I don't remember if it was Dan or if it was like Nostalgia or Net Addict. But one of them or somebody, it might have even been Smash JT. They were promoting this guy like named Henry Gonzalez, who's like a really young kid. He's like 17. He's trying to grow.
I love
and
that kid.
What was funny is he had like 300 subs when they first started promoting him, and they're like, "How is he ahead of me already?" I think it's Dan that did it. Because I remember, I think it was Dan was streaming. And he was trying to promote Henry, and Henry was ahead of him before he even promoted him. And he's like, he's already ahead of me. And that's because he makes good content. It was hilarious.
He's such a good kid. He's always on my streams. He's always supportive. He's always commenting.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just gonna unplug and replug my headset in, because on my end I'm getting stagnant. It's not because of you, it's just my headset's being stubborn. So give me 1 sec. Here, because like I said, it might have been just my mic was being buggy and I was getting static. So if you can repeat that to make sure I heard you. Like I said, it's not that I was trying to cut you off or anything. It's just
No, it's cool. No,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause now
saying
it's
that
better.
Henry's always supportive and commenting. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Are you what? I have to go back and look. I didn't think he had that many subs, honestly.
Yeah, I know. It was funny. Yeah, Dan was trying to help him get a funding to get him a computer, and then he saw how many subs it is. He's like, he's already ahead of me, and he just got promoted. Got that the promo thing. I was like, how does that happen? I ended up subbing to Henry because he deserves it. Like it was just hilarious though that Dan only had 100 and something subs. I think he had at least 110 at the time. Maybe 120, because he's gotten more since then. But like he had like a little less than what he has now, and he promotes Henry, and then he looks at Henry's thing, and he's like, he's got 300 plus subs. What the heck? Like he was in shock just as much as about everybody else in that stream. It was hilarious. But I think it was funny.
I'll help with that. You let me know when you want to do that, and I'll definitely help out with what I can.
Yeah.
I love to help people.
Yeah, I can tell, just like Dan,
need.
which is what I like. If you don't mind, I don't know how much it is though, to be honest. Because if you guys can help me figure out how much it would cost, not only for shipping, but also to replace the hard drive thing in it. Because it's literally those old laptops where like the old HP ones where it's like the hard drive is literally just that little block that's also the battery or whatever, and you can just pop it out and swap it with another one.
Another one of my friends, his name is Thomas Retro. He does a lot of the same thing as us, stream and stuff like that, but he has to use a cell phone, so pointing it at his TV.
Your mic's cutting in and out a little bit. I don't know if it's you this time, because it's not me. Just letting you know.
Can you hear me a little bit?
Yeah, it's a little staticky. I don't think it's you. I think it's just because it's trying to connect not only your chat in the party, but also the chat on the stream, so it's trying to get both simultaneously or something. So, but I can understand what you're saying, so go ahead.
Thomas Retro also does the same thing as us. We stream and stuff like that, but he has to use a cell phone and point it at the TV when he plays too.
Yeah, because like I said, if somebody needs a computer, if you guys can help me figure out how much it costs to get the hard drive replaced on the thing, and then also help me send it out, I would totally send out my old laptop that I don't use to somebody that could use it. Like, I don't have a use for it, and it still has the cable, so like I said, it's just the hard drive is dead on it, so it's got to have a hard drive replaced, and then it's gold. Yeah, so it might have been me, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I know it's one of those. I think it's the Let me see what HP model it is, so I don't give the wrong one, and then we can go from there. So hang on, okay? Let's see. I want to make sure I have the right one. Let's see. Yeah, it's the HP. What is it? It's the HP notebook laptop that's from like that one that's like It's got the one that's got like the old like what the old Apple laptops had, where it has like the actual 2 mouse buttons instead of the single one. Yeah. Right? It's one of those old ones of that. But if, like I said, it's a silver one and stuff. And like I said, if somebody can help me figure out how to get the shipping cost and the cost of the hard drive replacement situated, I will totally send it out to one of those other channels that could really utilize it and need it more than I would. Because like I said, I paid my parents like up front. I had a job through a thing known as the BRS at the time. And I ended up paying my parents like $400 to $500, and it's worth way more than that. But I would be willing to give it up just to help somebody that would be able to utilize it more, And I wouldn't need any money from them for it. I would be doing it as like a way to help, other people grow just as much as I am.
That's awesome of you.
So like I said, if you guys can help with that, I would be really appreciative if you can help me find out the shipping cost to send it out to somebody that could use it. And then also, you know, the actual cost of the hard drive. And if we can coexist and figure it out, I could probably get the hard drive situation on my end dealt with. Because I have a neighbor that has a girlfriend that lives with them, who literally said she would be willing to go on her Amazon account that has the Prime and get me whatever I need. So they will literally find like the cheapest one, and I can get like a hard drive for it, and then from there we just figure out the shipping cost. You guys help me pay, you help me get the money out this way to pay to send it out, and then we go from there,
Yeah, because it has to be like something like personally, like a lot of people say that desktops are better, but I like my laptop because I move around. I don't sit in one location to play my games. My newer consoles are in my living room. My older consoles are in my bedroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
as
and
far
another
as
good...
like the laptop, it's good but it has to be powerful enough to be able to handle a stream. Because to stream things like PlayStation 4 has its own, streaming, but if you want to stream Nintendo or Switch or something, you need a Elgato or a capture card. But something like the laptop has to be powerful enough to be able to handle it. There's like regs.
All right, well, we'll see you later, Dan. Thanks for at least stopping in this time because I know you wanted to.
I'll talk to you later, buddy. Get some sleep.
Do you think if we can figure out how to do it like together, if I can set up a link or something through your channel with your permission, during your stream, we could set up like a thing that's like a Streamlabs for my channel so that I can get the money to help those that need that laptop and we could go from there? Like, if you're willing to do that, I would be down to do that. Because, like I said, I have no use for it. It's just sitting there. All we have to do is replace its hard drive, and then if I don't need it, I can send it out to somebody that would be able to
however
utilize
Dan wants to do it, we'll make it happen.
Because if he's willing to help, I would not mind the help. Because, like I said, those that could use it better than me. Because, like, the only thing I'd use it for, if I'm being honest, if I was to use it, the only thing I'm going to use it for is, like, if I want to do, like those emulations where you take, like, an actual old-school ROM and then you do, like, a mod of it or whatever, like, that's the only purpose I would have for it at this point. And I wouldn't be able to stream it if I wanted to, But the good thing about that laptop is that cable is super long. Like, look at, the length of, like, like when you get those really long power strip things to plug in stuff in? It's like that length. It's a really good length, so... Back at you, Dan. If you want to do me a favor and drop two of the love hand emoji things in there for him real quick before he goes for me, J-Love, that'd be great. I would do it, but I'm just like trying to, focus on this so I can figure out what I'm doing.
What emoji?
The hand emoji that represents like love, kind of like what Spider-Man had to use to...
Got it.
If you can send two of those for me, that'd be great. Or that works too. One will be from you, one will be from me, There we go, that works.
Good night, buddy.
If I could figure out how to make a custom emoji, I would have a literal custom emoji. That would be the sign you would see from Spock in Star Trek a lot, which is live long and prosper. Like, you know what that is, right?
He works nights like me. Me and Dan work night shift, so unfortunately we sleep during the day. I'm just lucky that I have off tonight.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm able to stay up for a while.
Speaking of which, what time is it? I just don't want it to go longer than anticipated. Oh, okay, it's only 12:30, so... Because as long as Oh, actually, if I do it right, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can make it so you can actually watch the stream right through your PlayStation if you want to do that and make it easier.
You have to show me.
There's a way, I forget how, but there's like a way where you can share the video with your friend and they can join in. Let me go into a blue screen real quick, let's see. Because there's like a way you can invite the person in the party. There we go, invite players to broadcast. Now I'm going to find your name, which somehow you're not appearing on your PS4. If you're appearing offline, I need to know. Because it's like showing you as if you're using your phone. Yeah.
Weird.
I know.
Alright, let me see. I got your invite.
Alright, now see if you can accept it. And if so, then you should be able to join into the stream and then also be able to comment at the same time while doing so. And you could use like a second screen app for PlayStation to actually, comment. But hopefully you're able to see the footage.
It says broadcast has been stopped.
Huh. That's weird.
Let me see.
It's still going.
Maybe I gotta do something on my end. I'll check it. Hold on 1 second.
Yep. Do what you gotta do. And if you end up having to like leave the party or something to do so, then do what you gotta do as long as you get it done. I'll be right back though. I'm gonna grab something from my throat. I'm probably gonna grab a soda because my throat is like... you know, because I've been talking too much. So I'll be right back.
Right.
Don't go nowhere.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Make it a little bit louder. Okay.
Alright, I'm back. So, but hey, can I request something from you? If you don't mind, I don't know how you would be able to do it. I don't know if you'd have to, you know, go and do the like as like a suggested thing, you know, like with like the little support card things that come up after a stream, or if you can figure out how to do it during the stream, even if you have to put in the description. I have a nephew that's like 13, and he occasionally streams like Fortnite, but most often he prefers like people watch the replay clips of it. Alright, let me see if I can actually accept that. Hopefully it won't end my stream, because that would suck. Cannot use this while broadcasting gameplay. Huh. Oh, actually, I know another way you could do it if you wanted to join in. You know what you do? A file on there, and then go and watch it from there, and then you should be able to watch it right through your PlayStation. And you'll still be able to be in the party and everything. It won't affect nothing. I mean, you might get an echo, possibly. I don't know. I hope it won't cut you out of the party. If it does, then we'll just have to end that part and start a different way. Also, don't ever think I'm going to be drinking any alcohol, because I am not a person that drinks. I'm not a drinker. I'm not a person that would drink alcohol.
That's a good thing.
I actually don't do any of the stuff that you'd expect. I'm basically the equivalent of Phil Brooks, as in like the former wrestler / UFC fighter Phil Brooks, not the common hockey misconception type person. If you remember AJ Lee from WWE, her real name's AJ Mendez or whatever, she wrote that book a while back. Her husband went by CM Punk in WWE. Like, that's the style I live. I live where I'm drug-free, alcohol-free, and everything. Like, I mean, I'll be honest, when I was 18, because I was on a cruise, and it was like, you know, the thing where if you were with a person over the age, you were legally, you know, allowed to get it as long as they were there with you to pay for it and stuff. And I had like a drink, but it was like one of the lightest drinks you can get, and that was a thing called a Mango Meltdown, and that was it. And I haven't had a drink in my life since. So.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. But if you don't mind, like I said,
I drink occasionally though, but not, you know what I mean? That's
yeah, like I don't mind if people drink occasionally. It's just when you consistently do it like on a daily basis, you know, it's like that's the worst way to do it, you know.
You know what's weird? You have me as a friend, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's just I'm appearing offline. That's what it is. Like on my end, I'm appearing offline. That's what it is. Okay. Is that what's making it? Is that why you're not seeing something from me on the home screen? I just put
watch broadcast.
Yeah.
I think so you're actually able to see it? I had to click on you. I see it now.
Okay, so you're able to see it through the console then.
Yes.
Okay, because think about it this way. It's easier because then you can not only can you still comment, but you'll be able to see like the actual, what do they call those? Like the profile pics for YouTube of the actual people that are watching it, and you'll also be able to comment and still be able to watch it at the same time. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Hey, be glad I have my knowledge of these systems, because like I said, I pretty much grew up on like the retro Nintendo and the modern style stuff of Sony. I've been growing up with Sony and Nintendo since I was 6 years old. My first console I ever owned was the original NES with, like I said, Mario Duck Hunt plus the ice hockey game. And then I went into like the Game Boy Color era and had a 64, and I've had a GameCube, I've had a PlayStation, you know, I've had so many things. And I bet you're able to watch from, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I actually have it. I put the volume up. It's on my phone right now, but
well, hey, you're probably just doing to make sure that we get good quality. Which, if you're doing that, I'm not going to get mad. As long as I'm not getting like such a bad echo that it's like I'm hearing myself twice. You know, like with those noise canceling headphones.
Oh, absolutely.
Where it makes you hear yourself twice. As long as I don't get it like that style of echo, I'm not going to get mad. You know, because I want to make sure I know that I'm clear. You know, because if I'm not coming out clear, obviously nobody's going to know what I'm saying. But do you know who what was their name? Well, listen to this. You know what's a funny thing that you got to keep an eye out for when you watch that channel I told you that guy Fairplay is from, like that he watches and stuff? keep an ear out, because the YouTuber in that stream, his name's RJ, only equivalent version of the word for shit in German, which is Scheiße. He'll say like the one that's considered the family friendly equivalent of it, which is Scheißen. It's like, RJ, and he tries to deny that it's not, you know, a form of the swear, it's just like a family-friendly version of the swear. And I'm like, dude, during the actual video where he said it's not, I was like, I looked it up, dude. You can deny it all you want, but
wow.
I looked that shit up. It's hilarious.
Hey, DOA, I lost
Yeah?
you. Like, I can hear you, but I lost the stream.
You lost the footage is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll figure something out in a second. Let me pause this. Let me see here. Let me see if I actually see myself, because if I don't, then we know something's wrong. And if we have to restart, which I don't want to have to do that if we can help it, because I want you to be able to, you know, have time for your stream. You know. Now, if you didn't have to stream in the afternoon because of your job, I would totally try and get into an actual thing with you, you know, in the afternoons without my parents being home. But they get home at that point, so. Like, on my screen, it's showing... in the afternoon. Yeah, see, like, it's showing on the actual video, like, the thumbnail that is there, but the gameplay disappeared. Huh. We'll fix that in a minute. I just want to try and beat this mission, so you're going to have to listen to audio. And I'm going to have to jump out of this vehicle. Oh, I hate that. I hate that in this game, you can't do like you can do in San Andreas and Vice City, where you could drive the car and let it be rolling and then just jump out the car as it's rolling. You know?
Yes, I love that part.
That was the thing I liked about those ones. That's the only thing I despise of this one. Alright, let me see something. Let me just see if I can figure out... I'm going to try something without actually ending it and see if you can do anything with it. How the heck do I... I'm trying to remember how the hell I... Because I don't want to end the stream by accident. I'm trying to think of how to, you know, where I can redo it. I mean, if I had to, if I could figure out how it works, right, I would do the thing where it lets you do the... Where it lets you stream both on, like, YouTube and Twitch, but then people would have to jump to my Twitch channel to actually get the video footage, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that unless I have to, you know?
Focused on YouTube. I don't have that many viewers on Twitch, though, but I should.
Well, that's
do
the
that
thing.
eventually.
The difference they do on there, too, is that they do a follower thing, which is like the equivalent of a subscriber here, but to be a subscriber, it's kind of like what you would do with like a Netflix thing or something like that, you know, where you got to pay a certain amount per month or whatever in order to sub. That's the only difference they do.
What do you like better, out of curiosity?
As in, like, streaming service? Like, for streaming a video? I'll be honest, I prefer YouTube, but with the way that their shit's been after the whole apocalypse type thing, you know, the subpocalypse and all that shit, that affected a bunch of people, it's like, why, you know? Like, what's sad is that Twitch allows, what's even funnier is Twitch actually will allow more stuff on there that they won't allow on here. Like, Twitch even has their own exclusive Spotify playlist that anybody can use without a copyright claim as long as you acknowledge that you're using it from their thing. And you can have, like, a Twitch exclusive playlist that's all, like, instrumental that won't be copyright. That they provide. Whereas, does YouTube do something like that? No.
You're really good at that, though. Like, you have a lot of knowledge with that kind of stuff, man.
Let's put it this way. Being a gamer, you kind of have to know what you need to know in order to know how to handle things.
Right. Oh,
especially since I've been gaming since I was young. You know, like I said, I've been gaming since I was at least 6, from what I can remember. Because, like, the first system I played as a kid at, like, 6 or 7 years old was the original Nintendo, even though that thing was long gone. I think the 64 and the PlayStation 1 were the systems coming out in the time frame I was born. So, you know, so I grew up on, like, retro stuff. That's why I'm a diehard retro fan. Like, I have nothing against, like, these systems, like the PS4 or, you know, the Wii U or the Switch or none of that. But I'm so retro that it's like retro is... What's funny is how everybody says retro is not going to be a thing. You know, like, back when, like, Pokemon was quote-unquote a fad, and it's, like, one of the most popular things now. It's like... Okay.
No, I 100% agree with you.
Like, what's even funnier is retro's making a comeback now. It's like, retro started back in what? Like retro wasn't supposed to fade out by, like, the time that the PS2 was coming out. And now we're getting, like, now it's like, back then, like, once the PS2 came out, everybody was like, we gotta keep going forward. We don't want to go back if we can help it. And then out of the blue, we just get, what do we get? We get remakes of consoles, and what do people do? Fall head over heels in love with it. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with this world? First, we're against wanting remakes of retro consoles, and then as soon as we hear the original launch of the original, like, NES Mini, we're like, we gotta get this, and then it just sold like hotcakes. It's like, what the fuck happened with our world where we went from not giving two craps about a fucking retro thing to wanting retro to be the popular thing again? It's like, what is going on with our world and gaming, you know? It's like they talk trash about like Hollywood when they remake a film, you know, in like a modern take of an original film, and they're like, oh, that's just supposed to be a rip-off of the original, why would we want to see that again? And we'll still go and see it, but it won't get as much stuff, you know, support behind it. But the moment we go and we do, you know, the other one there, the gaming, it's like, those things sell like hotcakes, you'll make sales non-stop. Which is why Nintendo ended up having to, around the time when the Super Nintendo Mini was being released, they had to add in a whole new line of, like, you know, to go into the actual supply line for those, they had to include the NES Mini, because those things sold so much that people just wanted them to get more produced, because they had a limited quantity, and the line just got added to, and it was like, what? And now we've got, well, what do we got that's a retro system besides those? Let's see, we've got those retros, we've got an HDMI remake that's better than that game's Sega Genesis of a Sega Genesis. And now we have this little, oh, excuse me, this, you know, like the old arcade-style Neo Geo machines they used to make? Like the regular ones. It's supposed to be a miniature version of that that's supposed to let you put in an SD card and play a crap ton of games on it. And it's like, what is with this world? And hating on the Hollywood kind of stuff, but loving the retro gaming. And yet they always say retro's too retro for us, that we want to move forward, but yet the moment a retro thing comes out, it's like everybody's wanting it. It's like, you know, it's just that whole face palm.
I have to wait until you jump on my stream probably to make you a mod. Is
Actually,
that correct?
there's a way you could do it without that, you know. What you do is you go to youtube.com.
Oh, I gotta go to Streamlabs, right?
No, there's a way you could do it right through the website, through the YouTube site, if you do it right. Like, through the main, you know, like the computer type site, like if you go to the desktop site, right?
Yeah, I'm on my laptop,
You go into YouTube, and you go under that little icon thing, like you'd see on the actual app where your profile is, and go into the Creator Studio. And there's a certain setting. Let me see how you can do it. Hang on. Because I'm going to go to mine so I can give you an idea. You can do it from the mobile, but it's easier when it's transitioned to desktop, because it's just easier to adjust to. You know, because you'll have it similar to the website. So give me 1 second to go on my iPad and go to the desktop site so I can guide you through it. So you would go to the Creator Studio, and then it's going to load you into your YouTube channel dashboard. And when you go in there, what? I think so.
Is it like a live stream? Yeah.
So you go under the dashboard thing for like your live streaming, and then there should be an option under. Let's see. Give me 1 second, because like I said, I'm trying to remember. I haven't done this in a while. I literally just put my nephew on there like last month. I know there's a way under like the dashboard menu though. There's like a setting you go to, and it allows you to add mods or something. Let me see. Give me time to look into it so I can make sure I give you the right information. So let's see. I want to say it's under one of these. Just which one was it? Yeah. Okay, let's see. Hold on, let me look into it so I can make sure I give you the right steps so you don't, like, you know what I mean? Oh, hey, Nate! Good to see you. I actually didn't even know he was going to make it in. I apologize for no actual
Nate,
video
how
footage.
you doing, buddy?
I apologize for no actual video footage, like, showing on the stream, but hearing the audio, because something happens when it does this, so I apologize for that, but let me see. YouTube. I'm looking it up without streaming, because if you...
buddy.
Oh, you've got it where you can get the, where you can get the URL and put the person's URL in there to make them a mod? Is that what you did?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because that's what I was trying to tell you, because that's actually a thing you can do. You don't have to have, like, a stream going and then do it. You can do it right from a non-stream. Like, my nephew's like, you gotta be live streaming to do it. I'm like, I don't think you do. And he's like, yeah, you do. And then somehow I go into a setting, I find it, and I put him in. Oh, that's right. You go under the community settings, and then you hit that little, what is it there? The icon thing. You know, the little gear symbol there. And then it'll give you the settings to fill them in. So, you know.
Yeah, it says paste new moderator's channel. So I just have
to
and
put
your
the
channel.
URL for my channel. You just search on a separate tab my channel name, like
See, you're
the
really good at
channels.
that. I'm gonna have to go to you from now on. Anytime I need.
Oh,
you to
trust me, if
help
you
tweak
ever
some
need any
things.
help with that or with a Nightbot thing, let me know. I will help you to the best of my ability, guaranteed. Because let's put it this way, those that help each other gotta stick together. You know, we gotta stick together, us streamers, especially the smaller channels.
That's right.
Because once you get past like a certain amount of subs, it's like everybody just does their own thing. They don't help each other as much as they want to. I mean, there are some, like I'll give credit to Smash JT because at least he's one of those, you know, few that they don't care if they're trying to stream. You know, they'll help the small channels by having a thing to do it. You know, like he has his own website that he helps promote smaller channels on. So. You know, but like I said, if you need to know how to make a Nightbot command, I can teach you how to do that easily. That's actually one of the easiest and funnest things to do. And you can literally control it right from your laptop.
That's freaking awesome that you do that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, because the Nightbot thing just makes it more fun. You know, you can make it so, like, let's say you want to have a custom command for somebody, right? Like, you could be like, all right, let's say, like, for example, you were making one for me, and you wanted to put in something related to my channel name or something, you can have a custom command. Like, let's say you wanted to promote my channel, but you wanted to use a link, right? You could have a command that could be, like, exclamation and then, like, my channel name or something, and then it gives the URL, and it tells people to go subscribe to it and stuff. Like, you can put in your own thing. It's really useful. The only thing you've got to remember is when you do it, is you've got to make sure that you keep your Nightbot, in the thing, like you want it to tell it to join the channel, otherwise the commands don't respond. That's its only problem, but that's because it's a beta thing. I'm sure they're going to find a way where you don't have to permanently keep it on the channel. Right. But basically, you would go to Nightbot. You know how like Twitch is Twitch.tv, right? You would just search Nightbot.tv. It'll tell you. It'll come up as the website. It'll come up as beta.nightbot.tv or whatever, right? And then what you do is you sign in with your YouTube or your Twitch, whichever one you're using it on. And it'll do it. And then you can go under, like, I highly suggest this beforehand to be safe rather than sorry, is go under its, where is it? Bear with me while I try and remember this, because I haven't actually gone into my Nightbot for a while. Let's see. You would go under, like, its spam protection thing, and, like, let's say because, you know, most people, they're going to put all caps to acknowledge somebody in the chat. I highly suggest if you're using Nightbot, turn off the thing for excessive caps. Like, disable that if you're going to use it. Because that thing, I kid you not, I think it was, I want to say it was Snestalgia came in to my stream, and he's like, hey, DOA, in all caps, and it put him in timeout. And I was like, you shouldn't have done that. Why did it do that? And then I look, I'm like, oh.
Oh, okay. I gotta have to, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. Hey, Nate, so I made you a mod as well. If you're still in the chat.
But like I said, you go into the thing, you turn that off, and then you go under their command tab, and you go to custom, and you hit add a command, and then you put exclamation, and then whatever the command name's supposed to be, and then you would put in the description thing where it says, like, the message, what's supposed to come up, and it'll allow you to choose who can do it, who can't, you know, like, it'll determine, do they have to be a supporter, you know, like when you do, like, the sponsor thing, you could have it where it's a sponsor-only one, you could have it where somebody that constantly views your streams can only get access to it. You can have it where only you can do it. You can have it where only the moderator can do it. And then you can have it where anybody that's in the stream, as long as they pop in that wants to try it out, can do it. And you can have like a cooldown timer of like 5 seconds so it doesn't repeatedly do it, but they're only allowed like two attempts with it within that time frame so that it doesn't overdo it. And then it'll register. But you would just have to remember when you make the command, that when you tell people it, they have to specifically write it as it's supposed to be, or it won't register it correctly. Like for yours, you know how like I used all lowercase and no 81 at the end?
Yeah.
It has to be like that to do it. And let me go check this. It's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it's my dad. Hang on. Hello? Hello? No, it's all right. I just wanted to know if there was any other down there the little garbage is there and don't be dirty. I just make sure the parts don't let you keep dirty. Alright, so dump all those down, all that into the garbage area. Yeah, I went over there to check. She was like, I think it's just opening her habit, so she probably hasn't sold anything. I'll keep it, I'll check out again tomorrow. Alright, just let you know what to do. Alright. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Alright, sorry about that. That was my, mom, she had called, because I forgot, I'll be honest, I forgot I had called her, and she said she'd call me back about something. Because it was only related to, like, my family's clothes, because we gotta bring them down to get them washed. And I want to make sure I had all the clothes, and I was like, those are, because I don't want to think, because usually when people throw clothes in certain spots, sometimes they're clean, and you can mistake them for dirty.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's what I asked her, and she's like, yeah, and then she's like, because I guess she's expecting something in the mail, she's like, please let me know what comes in, like, text me what came in, and I said, okay. So, what'll be funny is probably around the time that your stream gets like 15 minutes in, my mail will be here, because our mail usually gets here by no later than like 2:15, 2:20 at the latest, at times, and sometimes it's like later, which is funny. So don't be surprised if while I'm streaming, while you're streaming and I'm watching it, I say I gotta go do something outside, but I'm not gonna like leave my device. I'm gonna take it with me. Don't be surprised if I do that and I'm outside and I'm grabbing the mail. Because that's what I did. I think one time Dan was streaming something, and he was kind of streaming a little bit later than he probably intended to, and I actually went out and did it. So, but what I got to give credit to Dan for is that I think it was him, and I want to say it was either Nate or Nostalgia, somebody that was going to like a convention like him for gaming, said that they would keep an eye out if they saw anything, because there was like two different things I'm looking to get. I'm looking to get either a PS2 Slim, so I can play like all my old PS2 games, and then I'll save up the money to get the Elgato and stuff, and stream it on this channel or something. Because I can also get like those like old school Switch things you can use for like switching from like the ones that use the old auxiliary bolt type cables there, like the N64 had. Yeah. I have a local like flea market thing that's near my house that actually sells like a whole bunch of them. One of them has like 6 of them on it that you can switch between. So, but I asked him. Cool. Yeah, I basically asked Dan. He's like, hey, if I go to that convention and I see either the game you're looking for or the system, I will personally get it and send it to you in the mail. I was like, are you sure you don't want anything returned? He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. You're good. He said that on his stream when he was streaming. I think it was the same day that he streamed the Super Punch-Out on Super Nintendo, like all those games. Yeah. That was the day that he told me that, and I was like, are you sure? Because I can always try and send something back. All you'd have to do is add the label because I can't afford it. He's like, no, don't worry about it. As long as you're not going to get in trouble for me sending it out, I'll send you whatever you're looking for if I find it. I was like, awesome, thank you. Like, I give credit to Dan and everybody that's been willing to help me out just as much as I've with them,
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah. Also, what my, Oh, go ahead. I can wait. Go ahead, I can wait.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if you wanted to know what my channel name, like, what my, how, like, for some people, like, for example, like, Dan, it's just, like, the whole, like for Smash, he considers it the Smash Army or something like that, right? Or, like, the Smash Fam or something like that, right? My group for, like, my community that's going to be represented by this is, from now on, going to be known as the Hit Clan. Or something. Like, you can help me. I'm sure. What I'll do is I'll figure out how to do it, and I'll have you post on your Twitter with a poll, and I'll have people vote on what they want my group name to be, and then we'll go from there, and we'll utilize it every stream I go.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, because I want to give, like, the community a name, because we're considered, like, a family, but I want to have a unique name for it, and it's like, what should I come up with? I can't think of anything, so I'm like, maybe I'll have some people vote. Because I noticed, I seem to, whenever people watch these streams, like when I was doing Vice City a ton, and then I was like, alright, this game's like messing with my head, I need a break, because it's going to make me destroy my system in anger, like...
Oh my god, I'm the same way.
Like, I kid you not, in that point, they said, what was it? Like, I basically, every time I would stream that game, I would be like, alright, out of the characters here, do you want me to do this person, or this person, right? Either this number or this letter that represents them or the thing that represents them to tell me what your interest would be. And everybody would just vote, and I was like, okay. So I actually get people supporting me and helping me as if I was doing a poll. It's pretty lit. Also, I wish you could have seen that. That was an insane glitch. Because you know how normally the car has to be like upside down and then the character will crawl out? Somehow the car was still rolling over, and I basically did kind of like what you could do in San Andreas, where you could jump out and made it out.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I wish my stream didn't have the video cut out and the only thing showing was the audio, but, it is what it is. But what games do you have on your PS4 that would be like a multiplayer thing that you think you could do a collab with somebody in? Also, do you have a dog?
No.
Oh, because it sounded like I was hearing a dog running around. I was like, that a dog?
No, that's actually me you hear.
Oh, it's just
I was checking because I'm expecting a package, but
Oh, okay.
What you call it? The games that I have
Yeah.
are, let me see. I'll let you know.
Take your time, no
Multiplayer
rush.
games.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's like
Battlefield
1 week.
1,
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5, Doom,
Yeah.
NBA 2K16,
Okay.
Need for Speed Payback. I'm not sure if that's 2 players or not.
Oh, that is, I think. I think that's... I might be mixing it up with the other one that came after the one that came out in 2015. I don't remember if it's Payback or if it's the other one that came out with them. But there was a Need for Speed that's multiplayer where you could have like a thing online where one of you could be a cop and the other one could be like the actual driver for like the main story stuff, and they try and flee the cop. Like that one, I know that's
Call of Duty World War II,
That's
Advanced
one we
Warfare, Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4.
I have that too.
I have. I'm trying to look for 2-player games.
Take your time.
That's as many. That's what all I have as 2-player games. But let me look online because I downloaded a few games on here.
Yeah, just make sure they're actually playable through the PS4 and doesn't need like somebody to go on like a PS3 side and play it. Because I can't do that if I want to, you know. And then after you list off yours, I'll list off the ones I have, and we'll see how many we have in common.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. Crash Bandicoot, but I don't think that's 2 players.
No, that's one of those ones that's not, unfortunately, as far as I know. I mean, I know, I think like the old school like racing ones they had way back in the day were, but like the ones based off of the main series are no longer that, you know. Anything else you can think of, or is that it? I'm not trying to like ask you to keep listing.
That's it for PS4.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. The ones I have, and I could list quite a few. You'll be surprised some of the ones I'm going to list. Let's see. I've got... I mean, I'm going to also mention if I play it or not, because there's some that I don't play and some that I do. You know? But I have Grand Theft Auto 5. Do not touch it after what Rockstar did. Like, I kid you not, one of the days before they were going to update it, like around the time they were getting ready to update GTA 4 with that new add-on thing they gave it, right? Like, I played that, I went to go load online, and I would not be able to get in. I was just getting an error, and I'm like, alright, screw this, delete. Besides, it was taking too much space to begin with. I have Madden 18, I have MLB The Show 17, which I think I could do a share play of one of those if I can get enough internet, you know, connection to do so. I have Uncharted 4, which I have to reinstall that data, because the original disc I had, I have... I'm trying to think. I'm just listing off the games. If they're multiplayer, I'll know. If not, I won't be able to know. I mean, I have Call of Duty World War II. I have that. I have Fallout 4. I have Madden 18, MLB The Show 17, Grand Theft Auto 5 if I ever want to get it again, Batman Arkham Knight, a game called Tales of Berseria. I don't think you've ever heard of it. Almost nobody knows what that game is. And then I have, let me ask this.
I never heard of it.
Do you know who Metal Jesus is, or Radical Reggie?
Yes, I do.
Alright, you remember the game Radical Reggie?
I know them both.
Alright, you remember the game Radical Reggie had mentioned about, like, ages and ages ago, back in, like, 2016, when he mentioned a game called Limbo / Inside, and he said, if you ever find it, get it, because it's a decent game if you like a good puzzle challenge type game. Right? I have that.
Yeah.
I also have Persona 5,
okay.
which is also another one he recommended.
Never played that.
Get. That game is fun. Think of it like if Final Fantasy, like the old school ones, took place in like a Japanese high school type setting with the whole 7 Deadly Sins mechanic of like where there's like the greed, you know, all those types of things filtered in. Like, think of it like that. Like, that's basically what that game is. It's so good. I think it's funny, too, because there's this cat in there named Morgana, and their alter ego is Mona. What's funny is whenever they see the character, her name is An Takamaki. By the way, she's a total babe. She's blonde, but she's hot as fuck. I'm sorry, I have to admit it. Can't deny the truth. But, like, when you see her in there, every time she defeats an enemy, like, if you control her and make her defeat an enemy, you'll get Morgana to say this quote. Morgana will be like, wiped him out. You're so gorgeous, Panther. It's like, what the fuck? A cat hitting on a woman. A human woman at that. It's like, oh gosh. But then I also have...
That is funny.
Yeah, but I have Persona 5, Inside/Limbo, Tales of Berseria, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, which is really recent. It's still, as of like last year, I think it's still one of the most recent Wolfensteins. Call of Duty World War II, like I said, the Madden and MLB, Evil Within 2, Torment. This is a really weird game. I don't even know anything about it. It's called Torment Tides of Numenera, and it was apparently a #1 most funded RPG on Kickstarter. It's like if Dungeons and Dragons, like if Final Fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons got together and had a baby. That's basically what that game is. It's a really weird mechanic too. It's like a really weird one too, but it's cool. And then I have Dragon Age Inquisition, barely touch it. I have WWE 2K18, which I pretty much play that on my downtime. I have, let's see, if I could get it to work, I have Uncharted. You know that like collection one they did of a remaster of the 3 original Uncharted games? I have that disc version. If I can get it to work, that's a game I have.
Oh, I have that too.
And then I have, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. You know Dishonored 1 and 2, right? There was a separate game that takes place shortly after Dishonored that's a spin-off, kind of, called Dishonored Death of the Outsider. I also have that if I could get it to work. And
Hold
then...
on 1 second. I gotta take this phone call quick, okay?
Alright, do what you gotta do.
Give me 1 second.
Take your time, no rush.
Take a goddamn seat. So the laundry won't pay any protection, huh? The triads think they can mess with me?
Hey, bud, I'm gonna have to sign off because I'm gonna go see my sister.
Alright, well, let me at least finish this mission real quick, and then I can end my stream, and then when you get back, you know, and you start yours, I'll watch it. So if you can just hang tight until I finish this. I'm either going to fail it or I'm going to succeed. And if I fail, F it, I'm ending the stream then. If I succeed, I'll succeed. But like I said, if you end up having to, you know, get in a hurry when I'm trying to finish it, then I won't hold you as longer than you need to be, you know.
Okay.
Because I have a weird feeling I'm probably going to fail it before I successfully beat it.
Hold on. I'm going to unlock the door for you, okay?
But like I said, I'll probably end up failing this mission before I succeed, so.
I don't want you to fail the mission.
Well, it's probably going to happen, which I won't be able to control it. It is what it is. It's all about what they like to call RNG, if you know what that is. Like, what's funny is how RNG is supposed to represent, like the term that the acronym stands for is random number generator, but the way people recognize RNG is like the odds of something happening. You know, like when people do speed runs of San Andreas and there's a chance that something can happen, that's what's considered RNG. It's like all luck based, basically. It's like it's like when you roll a die, you have an odds of something happening and an odds of something not happening.
Right.
So.
Oh, okay.
But basically that's what RNG is.
I'm gonna stream for a little bit, not very very long, but I will definitely stream again later. Hi. Oh, my nephews are here.
Now, if I can just ask, if I can ask a random question, if you don't mind me asking this, just out of curiosity, if you are available on like Monday or Tuesday, and assuming Tuesday works for Dan, you know, do you think you two would maybe want to do a collab, like the 3 of us, like you and I could stream a game or something that he also has, and we can all just like
definitely.
You know, we could all do like because like 8 o'clock our time, which is 7 for him, would be perfect, I would think. And then if you decide, you know, there's a game you want to stream on your channel, we could do like a collab of both of us streaming the game on each other's channels, you know? And it'd be really cool because we could help.
We could definitely talk about it and hook up. I have no problem with that. But I'm going to have to get going because I have to watch my nephews.
Alright, and I'm going to try and finish this, so.
Alright, buddy. Good luck with it, okay?
Yeah, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for actually helping me out with this collab today.
You got it, bud. Alright, see ya.
Later. Ah, shit. Damn it. Damn it. I have no gun to deal with anything. Fuck. Give me that van, damn it. Pretty sure it's called a rancher. Yeah, no, it's a perennial. Okay. Whoop, whoop. I'm taking this girl. Alright, let's go do this. I'm gonna destroy this vehicle as best I can. Roll over, you stupid van. Stuck on your side. Oh my god, this van needs to be stuck on the side of the car. Smoking just like the sign. There it is. Boom, shaka laka laka. One van down. Good. Hallelujah. Alright, give me this. I need a new car. The banana. Banana, na 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 banana, na 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 na. Not banana, but banana. Alright, let's block this van off. And I will take this. Thank you very much. Nope. Alright, it failed. Alright. And I'm just gonna quit. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one. I apologize for the fail there, but yeah.